In this quick video, I'm going to show you how to start your family tree on Storied by adding your first family members. This is if you want to start from scratch, you don't have a tree in another location, and you want to add your first family members. So how do you go about doing that? Well, to get started, I would suggest that you are going to gather some items first. So your goal is you're going to add yourself, your parents, and your grandparents if you know them. Those are kind of the key people to get you started. Some basic information that you're going to want to gather for each person is a first, middle, and last name, maiden names for women, and all of this is if you know the information. And I would just jot it down on a piece of paper so it's quick and easy to enter it. Their birth date and place, death date and place, and then a list of places that they might have lived that are different than a birth location and a death location. So once you have all of that information compiled, you're going to log into your Storied account. Now, when you log into your Storied account and you want to add a tree for the first time, I'm showing you the side navigation panel because yours is going to look a little different than mine. I already have trees in mine. If this is the first tree that you're adding, in the navigation panel on the left side, you'll see Start a Tree. So you'll want to click on Start a Tree. And then I'm going to pop out and I'm going to show you what that looks like on the Storied site. So once you click on Start a Tree, you're going to get this box. It says, tell us about yourself. So you're going to enter the information about you that you got, that you know, and you can gather. So I'm doing someone else for a family tree and not myself. The very first person that you enter is going to be kind of like, think of it as your home person. So this is an ancestor I'm entering. I'm going to create a tree specifically for her. Her name is Ida Poppy, and Poppy is her maiden name, her not married name. She is female, and the information I know about Ida is that she was born in 1858. I don't know an exact date, and I know that she was born in Indiana. So we have type ahead locations, so I'm going to pick the Indiana, USA. Now, there is a check mark here, and I would highly encourage you to leave that checked because what's going to happen is once you build your tree, Storied is going to be working in the background to look at all of our historical record collections and try to find hints about this person. So I would encourage you to keep that checked. So once I have that person entered, my home person, I'm going to click on Next. And it's kind of creating that tree behind the scenes, which will be quick because you're only adding one person. Now, tree tasks are just a way to help you get started, and this is based on that information I provided on that slide. So I'm just going to remove that for now so it's not in my way. So I've got Ida here, and I want to add her father and mother. So I'm just going to click in that box that said Add Father, and her father was Augustus Poppy, and I know his exact birth date. So I'm going to enter that, and the one thing I will say about birth dates, death dates, any kind of dates, make sure that you're consistent in the way that you enter them. This is kind of a standard genealogical format that I like to use when I'm entering. I know that he was born in Germany, but that's all the information I have about him. He died on the 18th of September in 1898, and I don't know where. Now, if this person was still living, you could put a check here, and then this is where they lived. So I know that he did live in Indiana as well, so I'm going to add that information for him. And remember, these are places they lived that's different from a birthplace or a death place. So I'm going to add him. And then you can see his information pops right in there. And then I'm going to add a mother. And her mother was Mary J. and then Rendell. And again, I'm putting her maiden name. And I know that she was born in 1837. And she was born in Ohio. So that's the information. And I'm going to put in her death date. She died in 1922, but I don't know any other information. And I'm going to add her. So it really is just clicking on that add person, and we're just adding mothers and fathers and grandparents right now. So I'm going to go ahead and add the next one, which I know is Frederick Poppy. And I don't know, the only thing I know about him is a death or a birth year. So I'm going to add him. And then I'm going to add his wife here, and that was Dorothy Rorick. And I don't know any information about her. So you can see how I can just quickly add and enter these people. Now, this is when you are adding the kind of beginnings of your tree, and you are adding as much or as little information as you want. The more information that you include about people, the better and more likely you're going to get hints about them to our collections and newspaper matches. So I would encourage you to include as much information as you can. So I have built kind of the basis for my tree. I've added a home person, their parents, and their grandparents. So that's all there is to it to start your tree from scratch at Storied.com. Best of luck in your family history search.